Next, let's talk about cardio training. Aerobic exercise is very simple. You want to do as much of it as often as you possibly can. Now, you don't want this to become something that's a burden. First of all, you have to use the law of reinforcement and make aerobic exercise something you really enjoy doing, and so it's a part of your routine. The best thing to do with cardio training is to try to get some form of aerobic exercise into your routine several times a day. For myself, I actually exercise up to 3 times a day in small increments. I will do something as soon as I wake up in the morning, and then I will do something after my strength training workout. And then third, I might do something in the evening. Typically, if it's good weather, I'll go out for a bike ride, or I'll do a little jog, or if it's not good weather, I'll ride my exercise bike in the basement. Now, you may think 3 times a day, I can't get myself to do it 3 times a week. Well, here's the deal, is once you get this into routine, it becomes very easy to do. This for me is about 12 minutes. I actually go for 100 calories here. And this is about 10 minutes. And again, I shoot for about 100 calories here. And this one can range from 10 to 20, depending on what I'm doing. And typically I don't really keep track of my calories on what I'm doing here. But at least if I'm doing an exercise bike in the basement, I can see I'll go for 100 calories here. And you might think, well, gosh, you're just doing such small amounts. That's the key, is I make it doable and enjoyable, something I can just do. I get up, I get out of bed, I have a little bit of water, I go down the basement, I jump on the exercise bike. It becomes a part of my routine. It's not something I have to go out for an hour-long run or something, so it makes it very simple. Now, you may be thinking, well, I don't have time for all that exercise. Well, you do. You can wake up 5 minutes, 10 minutes earlier and get your morning exercise in like I do. Now the one during the day, like for me, this is around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you can go for a little walk at lunch hour. You can use your lunch hour to get a little bit of exercise in. And then when you come home from work, you can sneak away for 15 minutes, even if it's after the kids go to bed or whenever. So getting 3 exercise sessions in a day is ideal. Why is that? Because you have several boosts of your metabolism over time, rather than just a single boost. And these multiple boosts have been proven to elevate your metabolism and keep it up there for a longer period of time. Now here's another thing to consider, is when is it best to do cardio? And the answer to that question that I get quite often is when you'll do it. So really you need to get into routine. I believe that doing it first thing in the morning is easy. It's a no-brainer, so you go do it. For me, after my workout, after my strength training workout, I come up front, I jump on a bike or I do elliptical. No-brainer, it's easy. I finish off my workout with that. And when I'm doing that, I'm typically reading the newspaper. And then my evening workout is something that if I'm on the exercise bike, I might be watching a video on the computer. If I'm outside, I'm enjoying the outside and the air. Maybe I'm going for a bike ride with my daughter or with my wife. So it's a real enjoyable part of my life. So the best time to do cardio training is when you'll do it and when you'll enjoy doing it, so it becomes reinforced and becomes a part of your routine. Now a little bit more on the science of this. Now, your body's preferred fuel is carbs. And your body turns carbs into glucose. And if I eat a piece of bread right now, my body turns that into glucose, and that glucose goes into my blood system, and my cells in my body grab that glucose and use it for current energy needs. Current energy needs. Now what if I have 2 pieces of bread and there's more glucose than my body needs? Well, then your body converts that glucose into what's called glycogen. It grabs a water molecule, attaches it to the glucose, and stores it in our muscles and our liver. So it stores it as glycogen. Think of glycogen as like the fuel tank in your car. Okay? When you eat a lot of carbohydrates, your fuel tank is full. All right? So when you drive your car, you just burn up the glycogen in the fuel tank. Now with our bodies, if our glycogen is low, the fuel tank is low, your body has to get energy from somewhere, and it's going to start to tap into more fat for fuel. So this is why whenever your body is in a low glycogen state, your efforts are going to go more towards fat burning. So in the morning when I wake up, especially if I've gone to bed hungry, I've spent 7 hours sleeping, my glycogen level is rock bottom. So I know when I go jump on that bike for 10 minutes, I'm burning a high percentage of fat while I'm doing my bike ride in the morning on an empty stomach. Now with strength training, your muscles use glycogen for fuel to lift the weights. So when I lift weights, I burn down my glycogen tanks, so then when I come back up front and I do my cardio, again I'm in a low glycogen state and I'm burning a higher percentage of fat while doing that. Now, for supper time, you can also use it the opposite way too. It doesn't have to always, you don't have to always think, well gosh, I'm not in a low glycogen state, I shouldn't do my cardio, it's going to be a waste of time. Well no. So if I have my supper around 6:30 and I go for a bike ride after that, yes, my muscles are burning up what I just ate, but that way I'm not storing a bunch of glycogen. I'm going to be able to go to bed on an empty stomach, on a low glycogen state, so that I burn fat all night long because my bike ride burned up what I just ate. So don't think of aerobic exercise as I can only do it when I'm in a low glycogen state. You can also use exercise as a way to burn up those calories so that you keep your glycogen tanks low, so when you're going to bed at night, you're going to burn fat all night long. Another reason for exercise, this one's really important too. An appetite suppressant. I know for me, have you ever just, gosh, you're thinking about eating and you feel hungry, but you shouldn't eat, you're not supposed to eat for another couple hours, and you really feel hungry. Your brain is just sending signals to your thoughts to eat. And this can happen from maybe you've had several good days in a row and your body's just starting to get to that point where it's starting to kind of fight you. And you're in a tough spot and you feel like you're almost going to go into a binge. Get on the bike, go outside, put on your tennis shoes, go for a jog, go for a brisk walk, exercise briskly, come back in 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I promise you that urge will be completely gone because you have taken your mind away from that thought of eat, I'm hungry, I feel deprived, and now you focused on getting your brain away from that thought and into your exercise. And if you've gone outside, you're enjoying the fresh air, and you're thinking about some different things, you're thinking about your goals, thinking about what you want to accomplish, and suddenly that's totally gone. So this works as an excellent appetite suppressant. I use it year round. If I'm feeling like, gosh, I feel like I'm going to go in the cupboard and eat this, I'll go downstairs, jump the exercise bike, turn the TV, and I'll pedal hard for 10 minutes, get sweaty, and it's gone. Go take a shower, I feel okay, I'm reading my book, and I'm able to go to bed on an empty stomach and do what I want to do. So that's another reason to use cardio. So you can see how important it becomes to have access to some aerobic equipment at home. Having an exercise bike in my basement for me is a must. I gotta have it. Now, I prefer a bike over a treadmill because for me in the morning I'm tired, and if I could just sit my butt on a seat and start pedaling nice and slow, it's amazing how it's like, okay, this is all right, and pretty soon I'm going up to the next level, and then I'm going up to the next level, and by the end of my 12 minutes, I'm pushing myself pretty good. Whereas if I had to get on a treadmill and have to walk right out of bed, I don't think I could do it. So I really enjoy a bike. A bike also allows me to read when I'm exercising, and that's something that I love to do as well. Or use the laptop computer and look at videos or what have you when I'm on the bike. So that really works out well for me. One thing to keep in mind too is when you're doing your cardio, make sure you push yourself at the end. Interval training is proven to be more effective than steady state cardio. And what that means is if you go for a walk, and let's say you're walking for 15 minutes, and you go out for 7 minutes or whatever, you come back for 7, that last, whatever it is for you, start with small distances. Really, if you're just a walker, maybe jog that last, whatever, 500 feet or from the mailbox to your mailbox. Figure out some distance where you can really push yourself at the end so you really get your heart beating, you push up your metabolism, you challenge your metabolism, and therefore what's going to happen when you challenge something in your body? It's going to adapt, it's going to grow stronger, and it's going to stay elevated for a much longer period of time. Just by doing that little bit of a metabolism boost at the end of your workout can keep your metabolism elevated much higher for a much longer period of time. It's actually very surprising how much longer. In fact, if you just go for a casual walk, your metabolism may be back down to resting levels within 10 to 20 minutes. If you really push yourself, now don't do this right away, you got to remember the law of reinforcement, but if you really push yourself at the end and you feel really exhausted, you've really challenged yourself at the end of your aerobic workout, your metabolism may stay elevated for hours after that workout, which makes a huge impact on your success. So those are some of the tips for when to do cardio, why you want to try to do cardio several times during the day rather than just one big workout, trying to do 2 or even 3 smaller workouts during the day makes a huge impact on your success. This is Dave Erickson, Live by Choice.